Hi, I'm Scott Swenson. We're back at Lynn's Propane Trucks with another stock truck. This is a 2021 Freightliner. It's got a 34.99 gallon barrel, 300 horsepower, and it's loaded. Aluminum wheels, stainless bumper, the chromed grille. We've got aluminum air horns up top with the snow shields, exterior sun visor, bright finish heated mirrors. As you can see in the headlight enclosures here, we have strobe lights. These work in conjunction with one on the rear head of the tank. So those roadside deliveries, no matter what direction traffic's coming in, they're going to be able to see you. You're going to stand out. Let's jump in the cab and take a look at a few of the options in there. Just to the right of the steering column, we have the rocker switch for the exhaust brake. And then just to the side of that's a selector switch for the Allison transmission. Above that selector switch, we have the cruise control here and heated mirrors. So that's your switch to heat the mirrors. They're also power mirrors, so you can control them right from the driver's side door. A really nice option for the driver. Below that's the utility lamp, so that's for the work lights that are on the lower rear corners of the cab and the rear head of the truck. So it totally eliminates both sides of the truck, the rear workspace, so your driver can work safely, especially on those icy, snowy nights. Beside that, we have power windows. The beacon switch is for the strobe lights in the headlight enclosure, and then there's one on the rear head of the tank. Like we were saying, it's really nice on those roadside deliveries. Doesn't matter which direction traffic's coming from, they're going to see you. You're going to stand out. Down below that, we have the rocker switch for the rear differential lock on the rear end, our regen button, and then the power locks. Over here, we've got two 12-volt receptacles. Charge your phones, tablets, whatever you have your drivers carry with them that they need to charge throughout the day. Up top, we've got AM, FM, CD, MP3, USB, Bluetooth radio. Anything your heart could desire with that. Really nice system as well. Moving up to the corner here, we have our backup camera. So that comes on with the reverse circuit. There's a camera on the rear head of the tank, so the monitor will come on, and it eliminates that blind spot that's directly behind the truck, right at the rear deck of the truck, that you cannot see in your mirrors. We mount it over here so it kind of works in conjunction with your mirror and your spot mirror. You bring your eyes over here, you can look at the monitor and the mirrors all in one swing, then over to the driver's side. It makes it a lot easier with it in this location. Moving down, we've got our custom printer stand. So every cab gets one built custom to that cab. Solid as a rock, they're not going to shake as you're driving down the road, rattle. Also mounted to that, we have a ticket holder, help keep your drivers organized. We see the tickets all over the cab generally, so that gives them a place to put them and stay organized. This truck has a 3-function remote. PTO, throttle, and e-stop. You only need to have the e-stop button, but the PTO and throttle are nice options for a couple of reasons. One, you'll haul the hose out to the customer's tank and start the PTO from there. Kick the throttle up as the tank fills, kick the throttle down, shut the PTO off. Your pump is running less time, so it increases your pump life. The second nice option is your drivers use them. They need to carry this with them during every delivery, every single time. If they have something they can use on that remote, they're more likely to do it, one. And two, they're using it. So if the battery dies, they're replacing it because they use it every delivery. A lot of times when we see the single function just has the emergency stop, they live on the dash, they get pulled over for a DOT inspection, they're not working because they haven't touched it for 6 or 8 months. Battery's dead. So that saves you from a ticket, and it's a nice option for your drivers as well. Let's head to the side of the truck and look at a few more options. A few more options over here we wanted to show you. On the side of the door, we've got this aluminum kick plate. You're always hitting your foot on that, wearing that out. That's a really nice, inexpensive option. We have a pouch on the door here for your shipping papers. And then one of the main ones here is the seat. Heated seat, lumbar support. It's really an upgraded seat. Normally people don't think of that, but you got to remember your driver's in this 8 hours a day. In the winter, sometimes 10, 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Heated seat, lumbar support, a nice comfortable seat. It makes a big difference. It's worth every penny. It's not that much more money, but it can make your driver's life a lot more comfortable, especially during those difficult times of the heating season. Aluminum wheels, aluminum fuel tank, stainless steel steps, We have an aluminum DEF cover. This truck's just loaded and it is beautiful. We see the work lights we had talked about. These are working in conjunction with the two on the rear head of the tank. Completely illuminate both sides of the truck, the rear of the truck, the whole workspace back there. So when they're making those late night deliveries, especially in the snow and ice, even the rain, they can see where they're walking, where they're working, and they can work safely. Moving back, we've got chalk block holder here. Spring loaded. It's nice and easy to secure the load. Nice and easy to get the chalk blocks out. Easy for your drivers to use, so hopefully they will. Rubber in the front and the back so they're not rattling around as you're driving down the road. Stainless fenders, stainless fender brackets. We've got a stainless face spacer in the back here. We set these back so you can't trap them between a snowbank and tear the flaps off. Because they're set back, we need to put a spacer there to keep the grime off the back deck. Let's move to the back deck and take a look at a few more options. Up in the top in the center, you'll see the camera for the backup camera. Now that was mounted over on the passenger side on the pillar there. Comes on with a reverse circuit, and you can see with the location and the angle, it completely eliminates the blind spot behind the truck here. Really, really nice safety feature. Below that's the strobe light, working in conjunction with the two in the front headlight enclosures. Letting oncoming traffic know from either direction that you're there, grabbing their attention. Either side you've got the work lights, so you flip those on. They'll come on with the two on the lower rear corners of the cab, illuminating the side of the truck. And you can see here it's like stadium lighting. It's completely illuminating the back of your truck so you can work safely on those later night deliveries. Moving down to the meter box here. We have an oversized stainless steel meter box. You can do any maintenance you want on this thing without taking the meter box off, clean the strainer, repairs, whatever it is. Because we've got that extra room, we're able to put a little shelf in here. You can keep your work gloves in there, any fittings you use throughout the day. Also in here, we have a spray bottle holder for leak check detector. And in the summer months, we see a lot of drivers use it for a bee killer. Keeps it nice and handy. They know where it is. They can grab it quickly. It's really nice. We keep our hose end nozzle in here as well. Most of the trucks you see, it's got a fitting on the back deck. You get to the stop, you've got to thread it off. You get done with the stop, you've got to thread it back on. Not only that, it's sitting out in the middle of everything. It's getting covered with road grime, ice, snow, wet, water, whatever it is. We keep it in the meter box, easy in, easy out, keeps it clean. When you're ready to use it, you're gonna have a nice clean hose end nozzle. Moving across here, we've got the Henne hose reel. It's polished aluminum, spec for 250 feet of 1-inch hose, comes standard with 150 feet of 1-inch hose. The reason we do that is you see all this extra room in here. If it's only spec for 150 feet of 1-inch hose, not 250, then you don't have that room. You've got to reel it up perfectly every single time to fit it on there. It's rubbing on the deck, it's lopping over and getting caught between the drum and the frame. With this especially, your drivers are hustling. They're doing a lot of deliveries. They're not reeling this in perfectly. Those winter months, they might be doing 40, 50 deliveries. They're just throwing this hose on there, and they need to have room for that. Keeps it from rubbing on the deck, shortening the hose life, lopping over, getting caught between the frame and the drum, putting a nick or gouge in it so you have to replace the hose. This one also has a guide master on it. Really nice option for your driver. Normally they would guide that in with their gloves. Whatever the hose dragged through is going to get on their gloves. With this, they just take the handle, push the button on top, and guide it right on. It's a lot easier on the back. It's a really nice option. Lowered stainless steel deck. So everything is within our working height. You'll see our guide master, our load lines, our meter, everything back here is within our center of gravity. Normally you get the trucks, the frame rails extruding back from the rear axle. The bodybuilder will take a prefab deck, throw it on top, and bolt it up. It's nice and easy. The problem with that is once you bolt it on top of the frame rails, all of your equipment is higher as well. So you're working up over your shoulders, out of your center of gravity all day long. Makes things a lot more difficult. With the drop deck, as you can see, everything's within my center of gravity. Not only is the deck lowered, our fills are lowered and they're angled. So it's at a perfect angle. So many trucks I see coming in here, they've got them up high and coming straight out, or they may have them angled, but it's still with that 2-inch load line, especially in the winter when it's cold, getting that thing up over your shoulder and lined up correctly so those acmes will line up and you can get it threaded on is really difficult. As you can see with the angle and height of this, doesn't matter how tall you are, right under your arm, you come up and it's already at the right angle. Just throw it right up and the Acme's thread right on. Nice and simple. Let's head to the side of the truck and take a look at a couple more options. Again, the lowered stainless steel deck, stainless spacer for the mud flaps, stainless fenders, stainless fender brackets. We have a hole in the side of the tank rail here. That lets you see in and you can tell if the main valve actuator is moving. Your driver's out making deliveries, truck won't pump. First thing he wants to do is know if that main valve's open, and that's the first thing they check. So this way they can just look through there and see that it's actuating. If that's not there, you've got to get under the truck. That's the last place you want your driver with a PTO on. The most dangerous place he could be. They don't want to be under there either, in the wet, snow, ice, rain. So with this, it's nice and simple. They can just peek through here and they'll know if the main valve's opening or not. Also, in the chassis rails here, we've got color-coded pneumatics and wiring. So with every truck you get a binder, and in that binder is diagrams for everything we do, color-coded diagrams. So if you look in the frame rail and you see a red airline, you look on the pneumatics drawing, you see the red airline, tells you what part it goes to in the back of the truck and what location it is, what part and part number it goes to in the front of the truck and what location it's in. It makes learning how your truck operates and how it's built easy. It also makes troubleshooting really easy as well. It's a really nice thing to have with every truck. Up here a little further, you'll see we've got the stainless steps, stainless cover and grab handle on the horizontal exhaust. We've got the aluminum cover on the after treatment device. This is a gorgeous truck, covered in aluminum, stainless steel, chrome, absolutely beautiful. Built to last and durable because of the materials it's built out of. This truck's done. It's ready to deliver gas. If you have any questions, give us a call. 800-252-5467. We'll talk to you soon.